What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going over updated Unchained. The new post of AGOV dropped, Age of Overlords, and this deck is getting some support with the feature of SP Little Knight. This card's actually crazy. It helps the deck. It makes like the blue dog here. So many interruptions. If you go to summon this, no longer going for Unicorn, but going for SP Little Knight, even the 2 interruptions is absolutely crazy. Pairing it along with Caesar just feels really nice as well. And yeah, it's really insane. It's one of the top decks of the format, as you guys know. So before we dive into, like, comment, subscribe. It helps channel a lot. We are going to be on the road to 5K here. I'm trying to hit that for a giveaway before the end of the year here. And if you guys get this video to 50 likes, I'll be personally doing a combo video once again, an updated combo video, going over different lines about the deck and what different plays you can do, as well as an in-depth side pattern as well. So diving in, we are on a 40. We're going to be running the 3 Shivara. Everybody knows you definitely run 3 of these. You run 3 of the Arua. This is very standard as well. 1 Rakea and 1 Shivara. I'm going to bring these down here. I was playing 2 of these for the longest time. I know people who are playing 3 of these. This is absolutely wrong. You do not need this. Tour Guide is very standardized now, so we're going to be playing Tour Guide of course. Shivara, or Sarama, the thing is yes, you don't always want to see it in your hand, but when you're playing, like, I'm going to add the other bricks. When you are seeing these 4 here as, like, bricks, this is like a soft brick, so we don't really count it. But, like, when you see all these as bricks, it's just, like, that's so unfortunate. Like, at my last regionals, I ended up playing this. I ended up playing this deck. I ended up drawing this. I dropped that to round 3, but I saw it, like, 8 games. Yeah. 8 games out of 9, so that just tells you how screwed up that is. Like, it's just super randomized. Not just like the luck of the game, but you definitely cannot afford to like bump it up. I know some people like, okay, don't play Disaster then, but this deck does come up, especially in the mirror match, as well as going second and post Nib. And I really find that it doesn't like take that much. You could cut this for like a thrust though. I'll be mentioning that, so we're not playing thrust currently right now. We're on the hand traps, but depending on how the format does move along, we will be changing that up. Now for the other engines, we are playing the Tour Guide and the Rhino, as well as the Vice King. This is essentially, is 2 different ways to pop, with your normal summon, without your normal summon, getting your traps to activate, as well as it's not that bad if you leave it on the field. Just be careful to not banish your XYZ with that, with Pot of Prosperity there. But yeah, definitely good. It also baits out a lot of the time, like an Ash or a Imperm, so good to have. Then we're running hand trap because there's a lot of combo decks in this format here. So that's the issue that I've been finding. That's why I'm not really playing the TTT and the thrusts, or the thrust package, and then like a bunch of like 1-0 spells like Herald, stuff like that. This deck doesn't struggle going second, of course, but you have to send up like a huge combo. Like we have a few of those. 1 card, make your board, break your board. If you open Dark Ruler and more bust, like we have a turn skip combo at our locals and stuff like that, as well as like you have like just a bunch of like random decks that just like swarm the field, like Numeria, for example. I can't believe I'm saying that, or like even Pendulum. And you see like some kinds of interruption. It's never just like, oh, a one of done interruption kind of stuff. So I decided to play Ash and Nib because like this is just super generic. Obviously it hits everything. And then I was playing Nib over the Drolls because I find that like Nib is just more versatile, especially in the rogue matchups. Where it just feels very good, as well as having a big body on the field can help when you're trying to swing for game, because you can just like very easily just swarm the field with this deck and just with an extra 3,000 body just like kill for game. Then for the spells, we are on the Dark Contracts, very standard, the Prisons as well as very standard, and I'm gonna actually be adding the Prosperities here as part of engine as well. This helps you dig so much into your deck, so it just absolutely feels mandatory. I'm not playing the Wailing. I don't think it's 100% necessary. It does feel good in like a Florindaries matchup, as well as like a Labyrinth matchup, but just otherwise than that, you really want the consistency, and having like the 8 traps, it really just feels great, because this is considered a trap as well. It's kind of like more exactly than 8, because you can also search for a trap, but that's just deck building discussions. Then we are on the 1 thrust, or the talents here. So as I mentioned earlier, you could cut the Disaster Dog for a copy of Thrust, but if you guys look in the deck, like there's not that much you can search for. We have Pot of Prosperity, and then we have Abomination's Prison. Like other than that, other than like that and like traps, it's not really that much you can search for. You know, you can wet set and imperm. But I'd rather like see some of the hand traps as well. But talents is also just like always live because every deck's playing hand traps other than like Vanadium. So like it's just important to me that there's a 40th card. So rather than playing a Call by the Grave, I decided I'd play a Disaster Dog. And then I was like, oh, I'll put in the talents anyways. And then for your traps, we are on the 3 Escape, 2 Chamber, and the 3 Imperm. I don't think you need 3 of these. I know some people are saying you have to max out. You know, you don't want to brick on a lot of traps. Like you have a lot of bricks in your deck. Like even if like you look at like, oh, what are bricks? Like all these in theory are like soft bricks. Like if you have any of like any hand revolving like around any of these, other than like I guess Rakea, then like you're really just not in luck. And like when you're playing like 7, you have like different options to open it up here. You have like actually 8. So 8 like bricks that truly don't do very much in your hand. Like they have to all be paired off with something else. So it's like to me that's important that we don't max out on some of the stuff like Escape or the Chamber as well as the Wailing, because you definitely don't want to be seeing hands like this where you're just like, okay, what do I do here? Like that's a very realistic hand that you could be drawing, or you could draw like this, and it's like, well, what do you do with this? Like you got 3 normal summons in your hand, and you have Shima and Disaster Dog, or like even opening like stuff like this, or even this. Like it's unfortunate that there's so many different variations of the stuff, and if you like even take out like one card and putting it with the impermanence, and like taking out like this and put it with like, let's say, a Talons. Like this here doesn't even do anything. Like you can't even really play, which is kind of unfortunate, but the deck just rolls that way. There's like so many different ways to play the deck. So instead of like adding like the thrust and stuff like that, I wanted just different cards that make me brick more, like Disaster Dog. But just like options that you can play the decks. Definitely when you're playing the deck, if you guys see some bricky hands, the deck is bricky itself. But there's a lot of consistency pieces with like, you know, you have any of these really as like combos, and it's like if you have any of these plus realistically any other card in your hand, you essentially have like 9 starters right off the bat, plus you know we can count the these spells as a starter as well, so you have 12. You have great chances of seeing those. Just, you know, there's going to be games where you do brick. Now diving into the extra deck, we are on the double Caesar here and the 1 Mechanics. This is mandatory, this is mandatory, and the third one's not very mandatory, but I'm choosing to play it because I do really like the clapback. Having to summon this out, a lot of people just cannot beat it and they just scoop it up there. But ultimately up to you. You could play a Zeus instead of the second one. It's just like a flex spot in the deck. Now for links, we're going to be playing the 3 Yama, the 2 Rage, the 1 Anguish. So I believe this is standardized now. You definitely don't need more Rages. But Yama in the grind game just feels absolutely crazy. If you're playing against like some random people who want to play the monkey version of Kashtira, they'll sometimes rip the Yama, but it just comes up a lot. And if you have 3 of them over the 2 of them, you're going to win the grind game pretty much every single time. The new little star of the show, SP Little Knight. This card's absolutely crazy. You know, being able to summon back stuff, or like use Rage, go into Unicorn, not require a discard. So having to go full commit and then be able to go to this, banish a card, and then banishing another card, and then come back every turn. Kind of pretty nice. We are still on the Muckracker. The Nightmare Unicorn still, because, you know, sometimes you want to be able to link climb, and this does come up a lot of the time as well. If you guys want to spin back stuff, and you don't always have to have your stuff. It also lets you draw a card, which is important as well. And then we have the Nightmare Griffin, because we like Nightmare Griffin plays. You know, Nightmare Griffin Caesar is still pretty impossible to beat, so very nice. We are on the Abomination, because it's an Unchained deck, come on. And then Unworld Goddess for those, you know, hard to beat purely players who let you sometimes like just spam the board out, and then you can just take it all, or some other decks that, you know, just put up like Sleight Hand Punisher and it's difficult for you to beat. But yeah, that's pretty standard here. I think there's like really 2 flex spots, like the Yama and then the, of course, the other Caesar. But I definitely think that you guys have to be playing this deck with Little Knight. This card like absolutely just is incredible. Like it also looks pretty nice as well. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Want to see some more content like this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I should be doing the combo video regardless. But it helps out support the channel a lot. So I appreciate that. Every one of you guys. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.